Have you ever wondered what it's like to actually wear support wear all day, at work, running errands, and in your real life? Well, today we're gonna peel back the curtains and talk about it. And we'll look at really my experience having dealt with this for many years now. So today we're gonna walk through when I actually wear it and then when I don't and why. We'll talk about what surprised me about external support and what it does and doesn't do. And then we'll walk through who it's really for and who may not be a good fit. So before we jump into all of that, if you check out the link in the description below, you can sign up for the Hem Support Wear newsletter and get $10 off your first order and get access to personal stories from me living with prolapse on a daily basis, as well as from our community, and then just all of the amazing resources that we curate and then offer out to the community to try and make this a more inclusive, empowering, and educational space. So sign up at the link below, and with that, let's jump in. So first and foremost, when do I actually wear it and why? So for me, this has changed over time. When I was first early postpartum, my first baby, beginning of my prolapse diagnosis, I would wear external support on a daily basis during the time when I was awake. I would take it off when I was sleeping. You don't need it then, but I really liked the feeling and symptom mitigation that it provided and felt like I needed that really every day because my symptoms were they took up so much mental space and they just bothered me all the time. Now I am almost 6 years postpartum from having my first baby, and my symptoms have changed a lot over time. And so my journey with support has looked very different. I went from really like that 24/7 model with the exception of sleeping to wearing it more on a case-by-case and activity basis. So now I turn to support if I'm doing, my strength training days or conditioning where I have more impact. If I'm playing volleyball on the weekends and the rec league that I'm a part of, things like that, that's when I really find support to be helpful. Or for me, like many others, I find that my symptoms flare up during my menstrual cycle. And so I'll wear more support then and turn to it then. Or if I'm going on a trip like that, those are times when, especially like if I'm with my kids on a more frequent basis and carrying them, I find that I like having the peace of mind and that extra support that support wear can provide. So depending on kind of where you are in your journey and then what your day-to-day life looks like, you might find it helps, you wear it all the time, or you may find that you shift to on a more case-by-case basis, just depending on what it is that you're doing. And then, it's something that I love having as a tool in my toolbox, and having that option to turn to is really helpful. Again, if you are interested, if you sign up at that link in our bio, you do get $10 off your first order, and that includes our bundles of support wear, which also offer a discount on top of the $10. So it's a great option to get some savings if you want to give this a try and work it into your toolbox. So for the second thing, what surprised me and what it doesn't do. One unexpected benefit, I would say, is that it really helped me and helps me focus on, in the early days, my recovery plan. So with my pelvic floor PT, there were certain exercises I needed to be doing, walking, strength training, things like that. And without the support, I was so uncomfortable doing those things. And so with support, it takes the edge off enough that you can do those things and not just hate every moment of it. So it can be really helpful to stick to those plans and work on the activity goals that you have, whatever stage of life that you're in. One thing that it doesn't magically fix is things like prolapse, right? So just because I wear external support doesn't mean that what I'm dealing with goes away. However, if you're in this space and you're dealing with it, you know how excruciating simple things like standing on your feet to cook can be, or walking around the block, and how much mental space it takes up. And so while external support doesn't magically fix those things, it can just really help make them not be so top of mind and mitigate those symptoms enough that you can go about living your life and doing the things that you love without it being completely taken over by these symptoms that you're experiencing. And then, a lot of people have this question of like, is it awkward to wear external support? And for some, it can be. For some of those that are out there, they can feel awkward. It can be awkward under your clothing. That was honestly one of the reasons I ended up starting this company, was that the options I had when I was first diagnosed, I just couldn't find one that I liked for various reasons. And I just thought, with how many people were impacted by this, like surely there had to be something better. And so that's why I designed Hem's support underwear the way that I did. Is they're designed like underwear so that they fit seamlessly into your life. And for me, that was really important, though. No matter what I was doing, I had one option to turn to for support that would support me in all of those things. So it really took that awkward factor out of it, because now it's just part of my underwear drawer and something that I turn to whenever I need that extra support. Now let's talk about who is this really for and who it's not, because it's not for everybody. If you're looking at prolapse management, there's a number of different options out there for your support journey. The two most common for like that immediate symptom relief is external support, like support garments, and then internal support like pessaries. And so if you're not familiar with the pessary, it's a medical grade silicone device that's inserted vaginally and then it rests internally to help lift and support everything. In that immediate space, there's a lot of reasons why people might like one option over the other. And then those preferences may change over time. So people who don't feel comfortable with a pessary right away, or who don't have access to get a pessary right away, can turn to external support, because it's as simple as placing an order online and then getting it and being able to test it and try it. It's one of the lowest barrier to entry options for some of that immediate relief. And that's one of the reasons people like external support as a first line of defense when they're mitigating symptoms. There's some conditions or situations where support may not be necessary. So like you might find that it's not bothering you, too much to feel like you need that additional help. And in those cases, it's perfectly okay to not layer in, something like this if you don't feel like you need it. Or you may find that just with whatever kind of symptoms you have, like stage level of symptoms, that it just may not provide the relief or you feel like it's worth it to wear it. And in those cases, that's perfectly okay. A big thing about this whole space is to have your mindset be not that this is fixing what you have, but that it's supporting you on your journey. Because sometimes I think we want these things to just fix it and make everything better. And I can completely relate to that. But when we shift it to knowing that it's supporting you and helping mitigate symptoms, that's when things like this can be really helpful and important part of your suite of options that you turn to. So I hope that helps peel the curtain back a little bit on when you can wear support and why, things that may be surprising or that aren't, and then who this can really be for. Because it's helpful to know that regardless of your life stage, whether you're early postpartum, going through menopause, in your 80s, things like support can be very helpful, and understanding kind of these different nuances can help you understand if it might be the right fit for you. So I hope that if this resonates and you are interested, that you will give Him Support Wear a try. Again, at that link in the description below, you can sign up for our newsletter and get that $10 off, and it does combine with bundles. And then please drop us a comment. If you have a question that I didn't answer that you were curious about, put a comment. We would love to respond and carry on this conversation. So we hope this was helpful, and then we will see you in the next video.